$1,000 or more. That was the '80s. Now we all buy $3,000 suits. Another thing I did was to carry $5,000 in cash in my pocket whenever I went to important business meetings with high-level people. I'd walk into an office or meet for lunch or dinner dressed in my $1,000 Armani suit, carrying $5,000 cash in my pocket. Carrying all this money put a spring in my step. I wouldn't carry it to spend. It's all in the attitude. I felt very rich, and the other person would sense this immediately. They'd think, this guy's a winner. I'd carry the $5,000, even if that was the last $5,000 in my account. I'd draw it all out and carry it with me to the meeting. Now, I carry $10,000 to important meetings, and for every big meeting, like my meetings with Donald Trump, I carry $15,000 in cash in my pockets. It feels good, and attracts the right people and the right deals. It makes me remember I'm rich. After meeting Donald Trump, I got a whole new idea of what it is to think big. I realized that what I considered thinking big was actually thinking very small in Donald Trump's world. Dealing with him forced me to think 10 times bigger than I had ever thought before. It took a lot of courage to take this giant leap, but I'm glad I did, because in the 3 years since meeting Donald Trump, my business has grown 20 times bigger than it was before. Donald Trump has the attitude that anything is possible. He doesn't let any deal or possibility, however huge, intimidate him. It boils down to this. If a worthy goal comes his way that he wants to achieve, he'll achieve it. He never lets fear of failure stop him from something he wants to do. Since meeting Donald, I have made a conscious effort to meet more people of his caliber, and I found that they all have the same think big attitude. In November 2005, media mogul Rupert Murdoch auctioned off a 1-hour lunch with himself on eBay, with the proceeds to benefit the Jerusalem College of Technology. My $57,100 bid beat all the other bidders, and I won the privilege of having a 1-hour lunch with him in New York City. It was a small price to pay for the opportunity to break bread with Rupert Murdoch. I took the opportunity to talk to him about the best ways, in his opinion, to expand the Learning Annex. He displayed the same no-holds-barred mentality that Donald Trump has. It was worth paying Rupert Murdoch $1,000 a minute for a lunch. It feels like a bargain compared to what I'm paying Donald Trump. Warren Buffett is America's second richest man. I wanted to invite him to teach at the Wealth Expos, so when I heard that he put his car for sale on the Internet, I got very interested. If mine was the winning bid, the money would go to his favorite charity, Girls Incorporated, and he would pick me up in the car in a chauffeur's cap. It would be a great opportunity to meet the legendary stock market expert and ask him to teach a class on how you can invest at any age. I won the auction and paid Warren Buffett $73,200 for his used Lincoln Town Car. Then I offered him $2 million to speak at the expo. He didn't accept the offer, but it was an extraordinary experience that gave me a glimpse into the character of this amazingly successful human being. I spent all this money to meet with Rupert Murdoch and Warren Buffett. And what did I learn? I learned that Rupert, Warren, and Donald all have the attitude of thinking big and kicking ass. Adopt this big attitude, and you'll be unstoppable. To sum it up, no matter what you do, think big. Thinking big is the driving force that has forged all the great achievements in modern life, from the towering skyscrapers to the amazing discoveries in science, technology, and medicine, to the great industrial and military achievements. Thinking big is what creates loving and lasting relationships. Simply take a big goal and mold yourself to become the person who can accomplish that goal. Most people are afraid to think big. They can't imagine themselves doing big things because they don't have the knowledge, the experience, the track record. But you don't need these things to think big. You can start thinking big without all the trappings of success. Every big thinker has had to start as a nobody. Just think big, and that immediately distinguishes you from the vast majority of people. How big you think determines how big a success you become. Everything else is secondary. Points to remember. Thinking big has led to all of humankind's greatest achievements. Focus on the top, and you'll get there. It's easier to do things on a large scale. Overcome the fear of thinking big. Mold yourself into the person who can do big things. Adopt a big attitude to go with your big thinking. Give yourself a big definition. Draw positive conclusions about yourself. Go first class all the way. Display a big attitude in your personal and social life as well. Always think of yourself as someone who is important. Speak out like a big thinker. Hang out with other big thinkers. Put big thoughts into action right away. Build confidence, starting with small successes that lead to greater and greater successes. Take advantage of big trends. Keep away from negative people in business and life. Avoid sinking into dangerous self-criticism. After every setback, start thinking big as soon as possible. Frequently asked questions. The best of Donald's question and answer sessions from the Learning Annex Wealth Expos in North America. 1. Question. When you hire your employees, what exact qualities do you look for? Donald Trump. I like to hire people that I know. That's why I love to promote from within. A lot of times, I'll see people on the other side of the deal that I'm really impressed with because they are extremely tough negotiators. So, I hire them. It's dangerous to hire people you don't know. You put an ad in the New York Times, a guy walks into your office, he looks good, he sounds good, and then he turns out to be a stiff. I like to hire people that I've had a chance to see under fire. 2. Question. I came here from Russia, and I love this country very much. Since Democrats have taken over the Senate and the House, do you think the real estate market will get better? Donald Trump. You never know. Real estate is so dependent on interest rates. Now, with all of the money that we're spending on wars that we shouldn't be in, and lots of other useless things, it's going to be hard to keep rates down. If rates stay low, real estate will be great. If rates go up appreciably, real estate will be trouble. It's very simple, in my opinion. 3. Question. My partner and I have $10 million to invest. We want to know what market you would recommend and what type of project in today's climate. Donald Trump. A great place to invest right now in New York City is Harlem. It's starting to really go up. Harlem is actually one of the hottest places in real estate. It makes sense. We're all on this little island, surrounded by water. Property is limited. I know a lot of friends who are doing very well in Harlem. 4. Question. Mr. Trump, since you are not running for president, who do we support and how do we get started? Donald Trump. You have a lot of good people. Rudy Giuliani is a very good person. Hillary Clinton is a very good person. We might not like what's going on right now, but we live in a very resilient country, and we'll find a way out of our problems. This country is very, very resilient. 5. Question. Why do you think it's so important to give back? Donald Trump. I think it's very important. I just gave almost 500 acres to create a park in Westchester and Putnam counties in New York. I feel good about it. It's the right thing to do. When you make a lot of money, you owe it to give back. It makes you feel good. It makes me feel good. 6. Question. What is the passion that drives you today, that keeps you going? Donald Trump. I just love what I'm doing. I love it. That's all it is. Very simple. In the end, you kick the bucket, nobody cares, but you know why I do it. Because I have fun doing it. I love building buildings, and it keeps me happy. 7. Question. I'm trying to build a team for my company. What are the key things you would look for when hiring? Donald Trump. Well, the thing that's most important to me is loyalty. You can't hire loyalty. I've had people over the years who I swore were loyal to me, and it turned out that they weren't. Then I've had people that I didn't have the same confidence in, and turned out to be extremely loyal. So you really never know. The thing I really look for, though, over the longer term, is loyalty. 8. Question. I'm thinking big. I'm taking your advice. If people don't increase their financial education, what do you see happening to America, to our world? Donald Trump. Well, it's very tough to be successful without knowledge. You need knowledge. However, now you can get lucky, or you can get a really good job. I know a lot of guys who didn't go to high school, and they are tremendous success stories. It's very hard, and it's a very unique and rare person to become very successful without knowledge. So you should try obtaining all the knowledge you can get. Whether you go to college or whether you teach yourself by reading books, you should try to get every ounce of knowledge you can. Then you're going to have a much better chance. 9. Question. I watch your show, The Apprentice, all the time, and I absolutely love it. I noticed that you always manage to get very beautiful women on your show. In your opinion, which woman is the hottest? Donald Trump. There is one woman on The Apprentice who I thought was absolutely beautiful. I won't say who she was. When I saw her, I said, she's going to